The wings are strong with this one.
Hey, what's up my peoples? EmGo here, the freaking geek himself, and today we will be reviewing the GCreation Blade. So here we are, and there he is, and first and foremost, as always, we'll take a quick look at the packaging. So right up front here, you have a nice picture of Blade, you have the combine mode just looming in the background, you have Blade, and on this side of the box you just have the rest of the picture here in Blade, and the box is all shiny and whatnot. And on the other side of the box, again, you have just more of the picture in Blade. On the top of the box, you just have things and stuff. Strong deformation. The deformation is strong with this one. And on the bottom, you just have that same thing there. On the back of the box, you have your obligatory product shots. He does this, that, the other, all that cool stuff. And that's basically it for the packaging. And I made him pass out. How dare you? How dare you pass out on me? You stay. Good bird. Good bird. And also included in the packaging is the obligatory third-party collector's card right there with Blade. And on the back you have a bio. If you can read it, the type is very small on this, but if you can read it, go ahead. Just don't strain your eyes too much. Maybe if I get in closer there. There you go. That's a bit better. Lord knows I can't read this. That type is way too small for me, but there you go. Deck specs right there. Hurrah, cards. What does it matter? I'm not going to read it because I don't care about cards, but let's move right along. Now, before we get to the figure itself, there is one extra bit that is thrown into the box. You get this right here, this little sheet of little like rubber stickers, little rubber pieces here. They're self-adhesive. You get a sheet of them. You get 4 big pieces across the bottom and 8 little pieces across the top. And what these are for is they're pads for your combine mode feet. So the 2 bigger squares go on the front of the toes, and the 4 smaller squares go on the back here. And that just gives the combine mode a little bit more grip on the surface, which is nice. So that is included. They don't tell you what to do with these in the instructions, and I love it. I love it when third-party companies do that. I really, really do. That is a big pet peeve of mine, and third-party companies love to do that. Don't throw things in the box and not tell me what to do with it. That's annoying. I hate that. Just a little piece of paper. These go here, and a picture. It's not rocket science, people. It's not rocket science. But I figured it out on my own, but I shouldn't have had to, is my point. You know, that's your job, people. That's your job. But anyway, I wonder what rocket scientists compare it to when they mess up. Anyway, so moving on to the figure itself. So here we have Blade, which is the next component of GCreation's Shuriken, their big Dinobot combiner, and this is their Swoop. And as you can see, is a very, very large figure. The wingspan on this guy is crazy. From tip to tip, he has an almost 25-inch long wingspan. So that's a lot of wing going on here. Very, very large wingspan. So let's get in close here so you can see the details. As usual, it's the transparent plastic over the gold chrome. A la G1. Very nice. Got the red eye there. And I mean, it's your typical Swoop. And you kind of see how everything works. So you can see his arms, the body, the legs. If I can swing the wings around here, the legs become the backpack. You know, it's the typical Swoop transformation. This guy's little tail there. The wings, as you can see, are nice and chromed out. Lots of molded detail. Very nicely done. Very cool. And you get some of that red metallic paint on the back. You can get red metallic paint throughout. You get some up here, some on the chest here, some on the hip panels here. And you got some blue, silver. So, yeah, articulation-wise, the mouth can open and close. You can move his head up. You can move his head down. He's got a hinge right here as well, but sometimes that will undo the head there. So you have a hinge there. You have a hinge here as well, and you have this hinge back here, so you can kind of give him a really long neck, which looks a little weird, but hey! You have that. His little legs here. They have a hinge right there. They do have a knee joint, which is very stiff, but he does have a knee joint there, and the little claws can move up and down at that hinge right there. Again, very stiff. The joints on this guy are stiff. So you have that. The wings have quite a bit of articulation. You have an upward hinge here. It's only one click of upward movement, but still you can move them up. You have a hinge right here at the base. It gives us a nice upward and downward movement. You have a hinge right here with upward and downward movement. Another hinge here, again, with upward and downward movement. And a hinge right there with upward and downward movement. So you can actually get his wings into a pretty nice, little flapping pose there. It's pretty cool. And he can wiggle his tail up and down. He can shake his tail feathers. I don't know. So you have that right there. I don't know what's happening. So he does include his 2 missile launchers right here, which has some gold and red paint up front. The missiles don't fire or anything. It's all just one solid piece. You get some molded details here. And you can plug them onto his wings. The slots on his wings, as you can see, go all the way through. So you can plug them into the bottom. You can plug them into the top. Totally up to you. Me personally, I like to plug them into the bottom. So you just take them and just slide them in, and boop, there you go. So now he's armed up as he should be. And there you go. So there you have that. Now for comparison, let us bring in his fellows right here. We'll bring in Snarl. See if we can get all these guys in shot here. Bring in Sludge. And here is Grimlock. And here we have the team so far. And they are looking pretty cool together. Now obviously Swoop, definitely a bit bigger than he should be, but hey, for the sake of the combined mode, obviously it had to be the size that it is. But they still look good together nonetheless. Let's move these guys out of the way. And here he is with Fans Toys. Not Masterpiece, not Swoop. Just so you can see. These two scale with each other. You can see, they're pretty much the same size. Like body-wise, they're pretty much the same size. Obviously, Blade has a much larger wingspan. But yeah. So you have that. And here he is with the G1 swooping pressure. Swooping pressure. So you have that. There you go. It's like a baby with his papa. So you have that. So let's get down to transformation. As usual, we will go into combine mode, then go into robot mode. So to get him into combine mode, first thing you want to do is you want to rip his wings off. What parts forming worst? Oh yeah, no, it has to do that. It literally, this is where my tongue stops working too. It literally has to do that. And by literally, I mean, of course it's literally, because how else is this going to be meant to happen except literally? Take his wings off. And you can see how they plug on. I just plug on, and you just plug them in, slide them down. That's how you lock them in place. Just slide them up, pull them out, and there you go. Take the other side, pull up. That was a little stiffer. Slide it out. Put that off the side. And we don't need that for now. So now you're just left with the base body. So what you're going to do here is you're going to untab the backpack right here. You can see this tab plugs in right there. So you just want to bring the legs down. The dino legs, you'll see here there are 3 tabs right here. They'll just tab into the 3 slots right there. So you just push those in, straighten that out right there. And now you're going to open up these panels right here. You want to take the feet and you want to slide them forward right there, like that. And you just want to bring his tail all the way up. And you want to take the legs and you want to flip them around, all the way around, like that, at the knee, like so. And these panels will tab into the sides right there. Just tab that in, tab that in. Take the claws here, just bring those down. And now you want to push this button right here. When you push that in, it allows you to extend the arm. Make sure you pull it all the way down so you hear that click right there. And that exposes the combined mode elbow joints. And now you want to rotate this section at the lower joint right here, which is kind of hard to do. I usually just bend the elbow. That makes it easier to turn that joint right there. And that's how you want that oriented. So now we'll move on to the upper part here. You just want to take the chest, slide these panels to the side. You just want to take the head here and just bring that into the chest. You're going to have to push these joints, push this joint in right here, which is quite stiff. Just kind of bring that head in like that. You want to take this panel right here, just flip that up. That exposes the combiner peg, not combiner bag, combiner peg. I said it right. Just bring that down like that. And once you've done that, you want to bring in this piece right here. And this is how this arm will connect to Grimlock. And you just line up the tabs here with the grooves. So you just take that and you just push that on right there. And they have that. So now we bring in our combined mode hand right here. So you just want to split the legs, and you have 2 tabs here, 1 tab here, 2 tabs there, 1 tab there. So you just line that all up, plug that on, plug the legs back together, like that. And you're almost done. Last thing you want to do is you want to take the little, not little, there's nothing little about these things. These are big, big missile launchers. Take the missile launchers off the wings. Yeah. Pop those off, and these will plug in right up here. Just plug that in. Plug that in. And I believe we're done. Yes, we're done. Woo! So there you go. There you have Blade in his arm mode right there. As you can see, it's a nice big bulky arm. And actually works. It actually works quite well. So articulation wise, obviously you'll have your shoulder joint right there. You'll have your rotation. You also have an outward joint, which is right there, which is quite a stiff ratchet right there. Obviously you're going to have an elbow joint. You're not going to get a whole lot of bend out of the elbow. That's pretty much all the bend you're going to get out of it. You'll have a rotation there. Very squeaky bicep swivel. That'll haunt your nightmares. Yeah. Well, nightmares don't need to be haunted because nightmares are already haunted, so whatever. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Anyway, you'll have that rotational joint right down there as well. You'll have a forearm swivel. A lot more squeakiness. Oh, man. That just gets painful after a while. You have a wrist swivel. Everything is squeaky on this thing. All of it. All of it. Squeaky. Squeaky dicky. Anyway, you have some upward movement, so you can totally, tell somebody to talk to the hand. You can do that. You also have a little bit of downward movement. There's a hinge there, so you can get some downward movement as well. The fingers are articulated. The thumb is at a ball joint right there. You have a joint right here. And each finger is on 3 hinges. You got a hinge at the base, and a hinge here, and a hinge there. So you can get, nice curl there on the fingers. And just to get a closer look at the hands here. Nice gold paint there on the claws. Get some molded details. Get some big Wolverine claws up top. Get a little bit of silver right there. One thing that does bug me a little bit is that the missile launchers, I don't know if you can see that, but the missile launchers don't sit straight. You can see they sit a little little cockeyed. Because that's straight right there. But they just kind of, they both cock to the side just a little bit, which is kind of weird. I don't know. But you got that going on. And you do get the combined mode sword right here, which is a big sword. You can see it's pretty much as big as the arm. Done in some red transparent plastic. Got some molded detail in there. And it's weird how he holds this because, you know, you have this groove right here, and this, you can see the handle fits perfectly into that groove right there. But the thing is you have this bit right here. And I don't think, can you, no, this is all just one piece molded together. You can't remove that. But this piece is basically meant for Blade to hold, because he can hold this as well. But that kind of gets in the way, so he can't really wrap his fingers around this, because then it's just a very loose grip. And you can't just take this and kind of put it over his knuckles, which is definitely a way for him to hold it, but then you can see he's not holding it straight. You can see he's holding it off to the side. I mean, it still works, but it's just weird, and maybe you can, you know. And I've also kind of shifted it past here, because you also have these molded details here that are raised up, so you can't just have it sitting right in front of the knuckles. It always has to be kind of off to the side of the knuckles. So if you can have him holding it like that, I mean, that works too. I mean, he can hold it, but again, it's just he's not holding it straight. It's a little cockeyed. It's not, you know, you can see in there, it's not flat in his hand. So that's weird how that works. So maybe this could have been a little bit better thought out. I don't know, but they have the combined mode arm with the combined mode sword. So there you have that. So yay, arm mode. Hooray for arms. So let's get right down to robot mode. So let's pop these off. Put them off to the side. Split the legs. Remove this. Put that off to the side. We're not going to need that anymore. And what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Let's straighten out this joint here. And I guess we'll just do the legs. So we'll just untub this panel here. Bring that leg down. Make sure you bring the claws back up. Swing those legs around, close that back up. You want to bring this panel down. You want to take the feet and bring them back, right there. And then you just want to flip out his toes. And there you got a leg all done. Second verse, same as the first. Open that panel, swing that down. Bring that up first. I always forget. Bring that down, close that up, bring that down, slide that back. Bring the toe forward, and then you got the legs all done. You want to rotate the waist here again at the lower joint, right there. And then to compress this back up, let's pop this off because we're not going to need this anymore. Pop off this combiner piece. So to compress the waist back up, you want to push this lower button now, and that will release this section here, so you can push that back up. That'll lock back into place. And there you go. Take the combiner peg, push that back up into the body, bring that back down, cover that up. And there you go. Now we have to raise the camera because he does get a bit tall. So do excuse me while I readjust myself. Here we go. Yippity doo. Alright. So at this point here, kind of bring the dyno head up just so we have some room to work. You want to untab these panels right here. You can say just tab into the shoulders. Just swing these back. Get them out of the way for now. To that, swing that back. And then you just want to take the arms and you want to bring them down. You want to untab them from the side. You see there are two tabs right there that goes into those slots. So you just want to take these arms and swing them down. And again, you got a lot of squeaking to deal with right there. And you just want to bring this joint all the way down like that. That's the way you want that oriented right there. Once you do that, extend the arm, open up this panel right here, flip out the hand, which are quite tight to get out. Let's close that back up. Get in there. And I loosened the screw up too, and these are still hard to flip out, but there you go. So second verse, same as the first, on tub. Squeak your way down. Squeaky, squeaky, squeaky. Squeaky, squeaky. And extend the arm. For some reason, this one likes to get stuck on me, and I don't know why. There we go. I think you just have to make sure like all those joints are straight, otherwise it gets caught. There you go. Oh, this arm that's really squeaky. My God. So, open up the panel. Push that out. Again, really snug to get out. Even though I loosened that screw. Still really tight. Ah! And then you just want to take these panels here and just bring them down flat like that. And this will tab in right there. With that. And then bring that down. Yep. Tab that in right there. And there we go. Then we just bring the head down. Untap the dyno head from the robot mode head, and you just want to take all this and just kind of push it down into the body. Like that. And basically you want this joint like right behind Blade's head. And that's the proper orientation. That lets everything just sit flush against the body here. And there you have that. And then last but not least, we take his wings. We plug them back on. Put them in. Slide it down. Put that in. Slide it down. And then you can just take them and kind of fold them back. At this hinge here, just compress everything. Right there. And I believe we're done. Yes, we're done. Woo, we're done. So there we go. There we have Blade in his robots mode. It looks pretty cool. I mean, definitely the, you know, my description for this line so far has been, you know, these guys are the G1 toys on steroids, and yeah, basically that's the look they're going for, and they definitely achieved it. So there is Blade, or Swoop, right there in his robot mode. And we'll get in close here on the head sculpt. Pretty nice head sculpt. Nice silver paint there on the face. Got some metallic red there in the eyes. Pretty cool. And overall, you know, it looks like Swoop. It's got all the Swoop features. Right there. You can still shake his tail feathers. Ooh, ooh. I don't know. So yeah, that. One thing I do wish this figure had, I wish this figure had a bit more of a heel, because you see, I mean, it does have a heel spur, but it doesn't come out too far. And these wings, like honestly, add a lot of weight, and if you plug these on, they add even more weight, and he does kind of tend to lean back a little bit, so usually I have to, you can kind of see here, I have his legs kind of angled back a little bit, just to kind of counteract the weight there. So it would have been nice if they had given him a bit more of a heel spur. But there you have that. And of course you can plug the weapons onto his wings. You can plug these either on the front, or you can plug them behind, whatever you wish. He does have handles right here, which are very hard to get out. And again, I loosened the screw and it didn't help at all. And I usually just have to take a sword here and just kind of pop those out. So you can flip out the handles here, and flip out the handle here, and you can hold these as handheld weapons if you wish. You can get in there, man. Get in there. There, come on. Come on. There you go. A bit snug as well, but there you go. So you can hold those as handheld weapons if you want. But me personally, I like to just plug these onto the wings and leave them there, because I think they just look cool there. Come on, let go. Release, Swoop, release! Plug that back on there. He does also include 2 swords. Right there. I love the swords on these guys, though. I think the swords are really well done. Nice silver paint. Got the metallic red paint right there. They look very, very nice. I love the way they've done the swords on these guys. There you go, both of his swords, if you wish. So you can get that going on. Or you can have him holding the giant combined mode sword with that handle right there, and you can swing that around. Which is hilarious because the sword is bigger than he is. I mean, it's just, I mean, look. He can also store this if you want. There is this peg right here on his back and a port right there. So you can take that and plug that onto his back as you wish. for storage. So you got that going on. So there you go. Now articulation-wise, the head is on a ball joint. You can get some wiggly waggly movement. Due to that hinge right behind his head, he can't really look up. He can look down a bit. The arms can do a full 360, a squeaky 360. Of course, the wings will kind of get out of the way, but you can position the wings how you want. You can kind of get those wings out of the way, so you can get that extra range of movement if you want. You do have a bicep swivel. You do have outward movement as well. You have a hinge right here. You can kind of use a transformation joint a little bit also to get some outward movements. Again, bicep swivel, slightly under 90 degrees of elbow bend. Wrist swivel. You also have a waist, that ratcheted waist swivel, which is, again, a bit squeaky. Legs can go forward pretty good ways. Legs can go back. Again, the wings kind of get in the way, but if you kind of angle them up a bit, there you go. Get some backwards movement there. Outward movement, you can do the full splits. Squeaky thigh swivel. Do the transformation, full range of movement at the knee. A nice ratchet. And the feet are on a ball joint, a very tight ball joint as well. So these will kind of squeak around on you too. So they can move up, down, you get some good tilt out of them. You can rotate them also, but again, they're very squeaky as well. So, they have that. Try to get a position here again, get them balanced. Ooh, no, come on. Come on, man. There you go. So there you have that. Now for comparison. Let's see if we can get everybody in shot here. Let's bring in Snarl and Sludge. I don't even know where to put Grimlock. We'll do that. A. Stay. Grimlock. These guys are big. There we go. Oh. Knock the sword out of his hand. Whatever. How dare you drop your sword. A warrior never drops a sword. Anyway, there we have the team so far. And you can see he is a bit taller than Snarl and Sludge there. Which again isn't quite right, but for the sake of the combiner, it is what it has to be. So, there you go. This guy out of the way, move him out of the way, move him out of the way. But all in all, though, you know, they do look good together nonetheless. Here he is with Fans Toys Soar. So you can see how those two look together. Now, of course, again, this is not meant to be a masterpiece-styled figure, but just for a sake of comparison there. So there you have that. Here he is with Combiner Wars Voyager Prime. In case anybody's curious as to how it scales with the mainline stuff. And, again, not meant to go with the Masterpiece line, but just in case anybody wants to know, there it is with MP10. You can see how that looks there. So there you have that. So, yeah, there you go. There you have Blade. So, yeah, a lot of squeakiness going on with this guy. And that's really something they need to work on. The one thing I can say about all these figures do suffer from just kind of joint tolerances. Like, a lot of them just have some really squeaky stuff going on with them. And that's something that definitely needs to be worked on. But, yeah. There you go. So, 4 down, 1 to go. Hooray! So, don't know when that last figure is going to come out. The only one left is their Slag. Don't know when that's coming out, but when it does come out, of course, I will review it, and then we'll slap these guys together and make us a Shredder King. So I'm very much looking forward to that. So there you go. There you have Blade. So if you would like a Blade or any of GCreation's other offerings, you can always check out BigBadToyStore.com for availability. There will be a link in the description down below, so check that out. You can also check out my Shredder King playlist for any reviews you may have missed, also linked in the description down below, so check that out as well. And I think that's it, so don't forget to check out EmGo's, check out Lori Plan, follow me on Twitter, all of that good stuff down in the description below, and I think that's pretty much all there is to say. So, there is the GCreation Blade Void, and this is EmGo saying, remember, you don't stop playing because you grow old because you stop playing. Be geek, be proud, pull me in your face. You know something, Wave? I'm quite smart, so I know a lot, actually, but, what do you have to say? Just shut up and listen, will ya? And I was thinking, maybe this war has gone on too long. Maybe it's time to end it. Really? Yeah. I'm thinking maybe all this needless killing and destruction just needs to end. It just needs to stop. And that's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna call a truce. Well, that's great. Yeah, things are gonna change around here. Ah! Whoa! How did they even get down here? I changed my mind! Kill them! Kill them all! This will be the story of the Autobots' death! Good part come! Tell Swoop good part! No! I was so close to retirement!